Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and in this video I am going to cover something post-campaign. So if you haven't finished the campaign, please do that now. So this is your spoiler warning. Outside of that, we are going to move forward. So once you finish the campaign where you've been talking to Osiris and characters in this room, like Caiatl, this door is now open. Now, what you're going to do is walk into the Hall of Heroes, you're going to interact with a bunch of consoles, visit some damaged memorials, and then you're going to return to the Archivist. Now, the Archivist itself is all of these people are digital in the Matrix or whatever you want to call it, but the Archivist is the one that manages this entire area. Now, when you talk to the Archivist, they're going to have a stage of quests for you. So what I'm going to do is run through the three kind of quests that happen before you actually get Winterbite, and we're going to do this one at a time, starting with Stargazer. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do for Stargazer is loot the Terminal Overload activity. Now, this is the activity that has like multiple stages to it, and I advise trying to find an instance that has multiple people, maybe find one that's on stage 2 so you know people are actually making some progress on it. It may take you a couple attempts, may take you, try and back a little bit later, something like that, but you need to do Terminal Overload, and what you're going to need to do is just basically open the final chest. That's the big thing. So once you do that, if you have questions about that, I could technically do a video over these, but I don't know if it's totally necessary. It's basically just a big group public event, kind of follow along with what everybody's doing, and the biggest thing is just try and, when you get your abilities and help as much as possible, use your heavy ammo, you'll be getting some as you go. Just really try and help your team as much as possible, try not to sit on the sideline. Second thing you're going to be doing is going to the SE Terminal. It's right here. So from the Zephyr Concourse, take the west exit, and you'll kind of go through this little like jumping puzzle. You've probably been back here before. And in the SE Terminal, as you work your way through, you're going to find a group of enemies, and eventually you will come upon a Hydra in that area. And once you take out the Hydra and the group of enemies, you will be good to go. So the next thing you're going to need to do is actually get a key for the Terminal Overload, like big chest. There's two chests next to each other. One you probably opened on the first one. Second one, you won't have a key, unless you already found one. Now, the easiest way to find a key is just do stuff on this destination, Neomuna. You could go to a lost sector. You could do a public event. You could do pretty much anything. Probably not partition, because that's later. But literally just run around, do patrols, do public events, kill enemies, do lost sectors. Run around until you get a key. Then once you've got a key, and you can hold, I think, up to 5, so don't feel like you have to stop farming. You're going to go back, and you're going to do Terminal Overload again. Again, trying to make sure you find a group, find an active instance. And again, remember, this thing rotates daily. Right now, it's in Lemming Harbor when I record this video. Next day, it'll be in Zephyr Concourse. Next day, it'll be Ahimsa Park. And it does this little 3-circle rotation. So just find the zone. See if you can find, like, an instance, something like that. Maybe bring, somebody with you if you've got a buddy. That may help. And then more people will join you guys up, and you can knock it out. When you finish stage 3, and you do have to finish stage 3, you'll open both chests this time since you have a key. And what you're going to do after that is you're going to head back to the Hall of Heroes, and that is going to wrap up the Stargazer quest. Pretty straightforward. You'll get a little bit of lore about Stargazer. Now we're going to go on to the second one, Maelstrom. So Maelstrom is a little shorter. You're going to have basically only a couple major steps. The first one is you need to bond with strand sources, and I'm just going to put an image on screen of what you're looking for. And basically what that is like as you were going through the campaign, you found those little like strand kind of like thread groupings. They were all together. You'd bond with them, and then you'd be able to kind of have the strand bonus buff for a little while. That's what you're looking for. You can find some in like Lemming Harbor, Zephyr Concourse, Ahimsa Park. I think there's one in each. You're just going to have to look around and peek in corners. So like Zephyr Concourse, you might find some here towards the southern end. If you're in Lemming Harbor, it's usually over in this area, kind of in this southern western region. I would look in those two areas, and you need to bond with them. There's probably going to be a cooldown, so you probably have to roam around. And while you're doing that, patrols, public events, loot resources, open chests, all of those things to basically just do stuff. And it needs to be within the Vex incursion zone. So what that means is you're going to, like, when I'm recording this video, I would need to run around the Zephyr Concourse and open chests. I would need to loot the resources, so it's a good time to put the, go put your combo detector on, so that'll help you see all the different options you've got. And you just need to go around this area and kill enemies and do stuff in this area until you pretty much are good to go. It's not that difficult. You just got to make sure you go to the right zone. If I was trying to do this in Ahimsa Park, I would make 0 progress. So check the zone of the Vex Incursion Zone, and then you'll actually find that you're making progress on the quest. The next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to do the Lost Sector that ties into the Vex Incursion Zone. Now, the Lost Sector for Zephyr Concourse is Hydroponics Delta. If for some reason the Vex Incursion Zone is moved, then go find Ahimsa Park and its Gilded Precept. If it's Lemming Harbor, you've got Thrillodrome. So just match it up. Everything with Maelstrom is based around the Vex Incursion Zone, so you'll be living in that zone while you knock this section out. When you're done with that, then we're going to go on to Bluejay. So for Bluejay, you're going to talk to Nimbus, and then you're going to go find your Vex Incursion Zone. Now, in the Vex Incursion Zone, what you're going to be looking for are things called shellcode fragments, and those are going to drop off of Vex, so you're just going to need to kill Vex in that area. And then you're going to need to open the key chest of Terminal Overload again, and that is actually going to give you the Polymorphic Engine. Once you have the Polymorphic Engine, you're going to run the Partition quest of the week. Now, the first one they did had a whole lot of Sparrow driving around. I haven't done this one this week. But once you get the next step in this quest is going to be doing your Partition wherever it's at. It's probably going to be on a 3-week rotation. The one last week was in Lemming Harbor. That had a lot of pretty much Sparrow driving. There were some cool parts to it. I enjoyed it. Partition backdoor I haven't done, and then there's going to probably be one up here as well. So depending on when you find this quest, you may have one. They're overly not crazy difficult. You can see the power level is 1790. So if you've been leveling up and you did the legendary campaign and things like that, you're probably going to feel the difficulty depending on how you leveled. If you've leveled up, it may not be too dramatically difficult. But overall, don't overthink it too much. May take you a couple tries to figure out mechanics or driving. You'll get comfortable. You'll be able to knock that one out. When you're done with Partition, you basically just head back to the Hall of Heroes again, and then we're actually going to get to the Exotic quest. Now, for the Exotic quest, what you're going to do is first head back to the Archivist. That'll kind of kick it off. Second thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to use a Terminal Overload key and open the Terminal Overload key chest in 3 different areas, which means you're going to have to wait for the Terminal Overload to rotate through 3 different days. So you may want to save this video and come back. Because you've got to do one in Ahimsa Park, one in Zephyr Concourse, one in Lemming Harbor, and it rotates every day. So this step is going to take you 3 daily resets to do. Not going to be able to do it any quicker. So depending on when you start this, can't do it much quicker. So if you watch this video and you can knock out the rest of it, try and get to this point, and then at least you know you've only got a couple more days after that. Once you've opened the Terminal Overload key on 3 different Terminal Overloads, next thing you're going to do is you're going to defeat Shadow Legion forces in Neomuna to basically find location data. So any location is totally fine. Then you're going to go into the Ahimsa Park Lost Sector for a data cipher. So when you're running around, make sure you leave that ghost on. Make sure you're opening chests. Make sure you're doing public events. Do what you can to continue to build up those Terminal Overload keys. The more of those you save when you start this quest, the more of those you're actually going to be able to continue to use. Then you're going to need to go to Ahimsa Park, and you're going to need to do the Gilded Precept Lost Sector. So it's up here just so you guys can see where it's at. None of those Lost Sectors are overly difficult, so I'm not going to give you guys a full guide to go through that. Just knock out the Lost Sector. Normal difficulty is fine, so walk in. You don't need to do Legendary or anything like that. After that, you're going to go back to the Archivist, give him a chat. You're going to go to Stridel's Memorial to repair it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to destroy the Vex Hydras and shut down the Confluxes at Maya's Retreat. And it's really not that bad. So if you go to the map, you're going to look at Lemming Harbor. Maya's Retreat is right down here. And what I'm going to do is I'll just show you the entrance. It's not actually that dramatically difficult. Bring something ranged with you if you're worried. Scout rifle, sniper rifle, linear fusion rifle, all of that's probably going to come in pretty handy. So when you land, the biggest thing you're doing is when you land is head off to the right. See if that reclaims array is over there, but I see a couple people playing. This is the type of one that I would go join. I would actually join in that one because there's 3 people in there. Apparently got Matt Damon as well, so that's hilarious. But basically you're looking to get right here, and then this is where you would actually run. So it's all this direction, and just work your way through. We went through here multiple times for the campaign, so you've probably been through here before. But this is the area you're going to go through. Remember, when you get far enough along, you might have to do a little vertical jumping. I can't remember if it actually gets you that far in. But without spoiling too much else, you'll work your way through here. and you're going to want to kill all of the confluxes. And basically what I had to do is, when you kind of work your way up that direction and then hover and then turn that way, you're going to notice, sneak peek, there's the weapon. You got to use the weapon for a while to get the catalyst. I don't have that yet, so I'm trying to clear out these guys so I don't have to worry about them. But basically, you'll kind of follow this path here, head off to the right, and work through here. You're going to have, like, Cyclopses and Hydras. When you kill a Hydra, look for the Cyclops. I literally went all the way up to the top, and then had to jump back down to finish my last couple. But this is basically it. Once you get out here, not overly difficult. I don't know what level those guys are, per se, but out here, didn't feel too dramatic. I mean, I was probably getting close to, like, 1790 when I was doing this, but if you're around that power level, it shouldn't be too bad. Once you get through here, pretty much all you're going to do after that is finish it up. You're going to head back to the Archivist, and you're going to pick up the weapon. So that is how you get Winterbite, but that is how you do Stargazer, Maelstrom, Bluejay, and Strider. And Strider is the exotic quest you can get Winterbite. Now, for getting the exotic catalyst, I've heard you just need to use the weapon, kill enemies. Eventually, you'll be able to get it. As for anything more than that, I will let you know when I get there. But if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like below. Leave a comment if you've got any questions or anything about this one. If I don't answer, somebody probably will in the comments. You guys can find me on Twitch or Twitter. I'm going to be streaming the raid race tomorrow, so come check us out live on my Twitch channel. And then if you guys are new to the channel and you enjoyed the video, drop a subscribe and hit that alert bell, and you guys will know when my content comes out in the future. Thank you guys for the support. Climbing our way up to 100K, and I will see you soon. Good luck out there.